So I am here with Mr. Bala. He is our CEO of our home-based company, and we are getting excited today. We have our company event, and I'm just going to ask Mr. Bala a few questions. You have been in the industry, and thank you for your time. By
You're
the way.
welcome. It's so great to be here.
You
Beautiful sunny day in the UK. Isn't that nice?
Lovely. We're
Lovely.
very blessed, aren't we?
Absolutely.
You have been in this industry for 34 years.
Actually, 37 years now.
37 years.
37 years.
And you've built businesses worth millions of dollars within different industries.
Well, in this industry, in the direct selling industry, I've been involved in up to about close to $1 billion in sales.
Yes.
And the organization that we built over the years in probably about 68 different countries do well over $1 billion in sales today.
Gosh, that's amazing. And we're lucky to have you as our CEO.
Well, that's my pleasure. It's an honor.
I'm just going to ask you 3 quick questions.
Sure.
Am I right in assuming that this is the only industry you've ever been in? Did you do anything before?
No, actually, before this industry, I started out being an engineer.
Oh, okay.
So my field of study was engineering, and that's because I didn't like people and I didn't want to talk to people, and I thought engineering would be great for me. Didn't realize that actually I would make a living talking to people. But in my career as an engineer, I ended up being a plant manager for Bose Corporation for 8 years, and retired from that when I was 31 years old because of this industry. It was interesting because the reason why I did well in a conventional career was the things I learned through this industry. You know, the whole personal development and the books and the things you hear, the power of association. Those things, took a first generation immigrant working in a factory for $1.65 an hour to being a plant manager managing 300 people, 3 shifts for one of the largest sound company in the world.
Wow, yes.
So that was very, very gratifying, and it was great. But in the process, I was also developing my own business through direct selling. And then today, I retired from that when I was 31, traveled the world for about 28 years in about 68 different countries, and then eventually decided I wanted to actually come inside and again try to build a culture inside a company like Mannatech that had something so valuable to offer and be able to then take on the world again. So this is my second time going around the world and expanding an idea that I think is really worthwhile around the world.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So what excites you the most at the moment about Mannatech and Europe and the UK? It's quite an exciting time for all of us.
Well, it's quite an exciting time for the industry in general. If I go back 38 years ago when we started in direct selling, I would say direct selling was really out of the mainstream. The idea that, you needed to order something and have it shipped to your house just was not the right idea at the time. If you understand what I mean, right? Who wants to order your toothpaste and have it delivered to your house?
Yeah.
Think about back in the 80s. But if you think about today, we all get things in our house in boxes.
Absolutely.
The whole Amazon syndrome, if you would call it, it's been a revolution in the way we shop, in the way we expect things to get to us. But that lines up perfectly with where direct selling has been for the last 100 years. We were just really, really, really ahead of our time. And it sounds like right now we're really well positioned to take advantage of a couple of huge mega trends that are going on in the world. One is this whole concept of the direct-to-consumer approach, as we've seen it now just exemplified everywhere. This is the last generation of people that will actually go to a shop and buy something, right?
Yeah.
Everything is going to come to us, but direct selling has been doing it for a long time. However, we still will have the high-touch element of it. It's one thing to be high-tech, but we as human beings still need the high-touch.
Yeah.
And more than ever, today, we trust each other more than we trust the media, more than we trust television, more than we trust advertising. So that means that what a peer thinks about something is important to people, and that's what direct selling is. It's about its personal recommendation of something you are really excited about.
Absolutely.
And you know, there's a lot about Mannatech to be excited about. I know you are excited about it. I know the people that are going to be here excited about it because they've seen the value that Mannatech has brought into their lives,
Yes.
and they want to share that. Well, that's where the world is going. So it's nice to know that we're no longer out of mainstream. We are mainstream, but we are mainstream with an advantage,
Yes.
which we still maintain that person to person contact, and while leveraging all the wonderful technologies that we have today to be more productive in certain way, and to be to be more efficient
Yes.
in how we distribute things from manufacturer to consumer.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more question for you. What would be your number one tip to somebody that is interested in joining a network marketing company? They're not happy in their lives, they've been introduced, and they're just not sure.
Well, there's a lot of people that are not happy where they are. Unfortunately, our old education system did not prepare us for what's going on. Do you know that in the next 15, 20 years, 2 billion jobs worldwide will disappear? That's half of all the employment in the world
Yes.
will disappear. But that also is creating what we're calling the emergence of the micro entrepreneur. So these people that you're talking to, these people are micro entrepreneur. They're going to be able to come in, leverage what they do, leverage technology. And for me, my first tip, my first advice is find something you personally get excited and passionate about.
Yes.
Once you find something you're passionate about, in that case, we're passionate about health. Well, why are we passionate about health? Because health is your first wealth,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So we're passionate about that, and we want to go out there and educate a public that really has been badly misinformed, right? Most of us have been informed about nutrition through advertising by companies that really, frankly, are more interested in selling their goods than they are, frankly, the betterment, health-wise of people.
Yes.
So we get to come in and really be able to educate a consumer, and an educated consumer